The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Greetings. It is gone.
How do you do?
Greetings.
Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings.
Ah, my spell!
How do you do?
Right, casting. Focus. Not even a scratch. Scoot! Off I go.
Greetings. Well, that didn't...
Greetings. I have lost the spell. I should do something else. I need buy, please. Till we meet again.
Charmed, I'm sure. Greetings.
Ah, my spell! What does it take to kill these things?
You're in my way.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Papa, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time. Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle. Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Koosland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we'd had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow Wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about. I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone? In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me. Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt, spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Good evening, my lord.
Yes? We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again. Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that. I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion. The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations. I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature. I'm sure there will be much to discuss once I return. I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone. Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner. As do I. Until then.
Good evening, my lord.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave. No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off. That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we? Your mother was quite specific. Unless the castle is under attack, you get that dog before doing anything else. Her words, not mine. Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true? Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me? Maker's breath, are you certain? Can you imagine? Me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
Good evening, my lord.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Kuslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect. I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson. Wonderful. Oh, the Kusland history is long indeed. Where shall we start? Well, records are vague, but the Kuslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child? Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Kusland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern. Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man. It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential, then. A pity. At any rate, your family has held the Tournure of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Kusland battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence. The Kuslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won. Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event. The history between the Kuslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During your grandfather's rule, of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Tourneur's center, Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Olay. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn. Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Damn it, myself all this while you do this.
Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true? Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true?
Good evening, my lord.
Oh, my lord, we were just, well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Cairn stationed us here. I don't know. Nobody has come to look at the treasury. Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening, my lord.
Now's better than later.
Got it.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all!
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you. Please, child, call me Malol. I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need. Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be. There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me. It is the least I could do. If the worst comes to pass, child, take comfort in knowing that the Maker's will takes many forms. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
I'll get on it.
Good evening, my lord.
I'll get on it.
Good evening, my lord.
The castle is so eerie with everyone preparing to ride south. It will be so empty.
It will serve you well while the Terran is gone.
All right.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you! Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down. Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way!
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? Wait, do you hear that?
Foolish creature, it should know better than
That one almost made it into my foot. The dog's really on your...
Now, save them later.
Thank the Maker! Giant rats? It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all. Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
I'll get on it.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead. Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
We will serve you while the Terran
We will
is
serve
away.
you well while the Terran is gone.
Good evening, my lord.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled? Ah, marvelous. Just the thing for my guests to hear right before dinner. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Lan Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon. You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon shamelessly flirting with you?
Right in front of your family, too.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
As it pleases you, my lord.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance. Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you? It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana. As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours. For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority. Delightful. Then there's no argument. I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you? Indeed. I turned around, and here you are. A fine man in your own right. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Now's better than later.
Good evening, my lord.
Got it. Now's better than later.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
He is as mortal as anyone, despite his refusal to believe.
Now, love, no need to be grim.
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come? Oh? If I were a Grey Warden, little brother, I'd have my eye on you. Not that Father would ever allow it. If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you would be so miserable, husband.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those Darkspawn myself.
Surely your father would not place both his heirs in danger?
Mother and Father have been fighting about it for days. It's too bad. I could have used you at my side. Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two. Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Oren. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, Mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
If you should need any assistance in the coming days, I would be glad to offer it.
Mama says you're going to be watching over us while Papa is gone. Is that true, Uncle? What if the castle is attacked? Will there be dragons?
Dragons are terrible creatures, Oren. They eat people.
Yeah, I want to see one.
This is your influence, Fergus.
What? I didn't say anything.
Are you going to teach me to use a sword, Uncle? Then I can fight evil too. Take that, dire bunny. All Darkspawn, fear my sword of truthiness.
I'm thinking no.
do anything.
Don't worry, son. You'll get to see a sword up close real soon, I promise. Getting sent to bed early, are we? A warm bed doesn't sound so bad now, come to think of it. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
My lord! Help me! The castle is under attack!
Darling, I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt? Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Howe's men. Why would they attack us? You don't think Howe's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed. We must find him. I am no Orlesian wallflower. Give me a sword and I'll use it. Now let's go. Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk. No! My little Oren! What manner of fiend slaughters innocents? How he's not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go, I don't want to see this.
All right. Someone together, and no one's getting out alive!
How will pay for what he's done? To battle! Fight for our home! Come and face me, dare!
Now's better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? I'll get on it. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here. Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere. The front gates. That's where your father must be. I have my treasury key. We could go there first and take the Kuslan sword from the vault. If anything is worth fighting to keep out of Hal's hands, it's that sword. But it may be a dangerous path. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants entering the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then let us be swift.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here! Yes, my lord! Here they come!
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt? Her scream woke me up. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us? You don't think... Have you seen your father? He never came to bed. We must find him.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Perhaps we can salvage some things here, darling. Some of your father's belongings are in that trunk.
Got it. I'll get on it.
Oh, dear Landra. I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been... Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere. The front gates. That's where your father must be. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me? Then let us be...
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here! Yes, my lord!
Good day to die! to a ladder so you can get off your back. I'll get on it. Got it. I'm gonna take you with me. You have no skin.